This is where the big boys play, huh?
I'm back. And I'm back for you. I'm not going to lie. I'm back for me, too.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Hole 3, the moss-covered, 3-handle family Gradunzel. I am Sir Michael Cole.
You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
Number 4, armbar.
This ain't no disco. Ain't no country club either. This is the 3 Count Thursday podcast. So let's go, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome 3CT. We are live. It is Thursday night, October the 6th, 2022. We are glad to be with you once again. Make sure you head over to 3countthursday.com. That's where you'll find our YouTube channel, our merchandise over at tpublic.com, and everything else 3CT related. You'll find the Wrestler of the Week and much more. You also find, like I said, our YouTube link, our social media links, our podcast link, so you can subscribe everywhere. You can find 3CT, as you can see on the screen as you're with us live on video or catching up on demand. Over 30 great designs. Warner Brothers hasn't shut down the new 4-mark shirt yet, but there's still time, I suppose. But head over there. Stuff always on sale. Or regularly on sale, because I don't believe there's a current sale going on, but you can see the 4-mark shirt over there right now. Let's see. Lou says it ain't even 10 minutes, or if you ain't 10 minutes early, you're late. Yeah. We got a couple minute late start. How's it going, Lou? Devin, what's going on, buddy? Charlie joining in as well. Yeah, Scotty. Obviously, some unfortunate news today in the wrestling world. Sarah Lee, 2015 Tough Enough winner, passed away at the age of 30. Really no information, but if you go on Twitter, I know we retweeted it. There is a GoFundMe going for her family. I saw the news, like a couple people talking about it this afternoon, and there was no confirmation for a little while, but I guess her mom or somebody in her family did confirm it via social media. She was married to former WWE superstar Wesley Blake. They have 3 kids. There was an Instagram post a couple of days ago. She had mentioned something about having a sinus infection that had kind of knocked her out a little bit, but no reason given. But of course, our thoughts are with her family and friends and all who knew her. There's a great outpouring of support this afternoon. So it's crazy. It's a harsh reminder that life is very, very fragile. So Scotty, thank you for bringing that up. And as well, thoughts and prayers everybody affected by Hurricane Ian as well. There's a big path of destruction all up and down the East Coast. So we're going to try and entertain for the next hour or so here, as we do on Thursday nights. We also have a podcast version of our show that comes out on Tuesdays on our podcast feed. So you can check that out as well. Not always wrestling oriented over there. Like if you want your kind of topical, weekly wrestling content, you can come here. But pretty much sky's the limit on Tuesdays. So if you haven't checked that out, subscribe to our show on all podcast platforms.
Sky's the limit. I mean, it's more about here, but
yeah. Okay. Look,
let's
man.
be honest.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Let's
right.
not oversell it. It's just.
And
it's
you're right. You're
about
right.
here.
As well, Ryan. Then I'll start with you.
How you doing?
Good. Matt's not here this week, so I want to let him know that I'm wearing the Phillies cap. I think this is what got him into the playoffs.
That's right.
Because Matt commented that when I did wear this cap one time, something good happened. So I've been trying to put it on every day, at least for a few minutes. I'll wear it for the podcast for Matt. Also, without Matt being here, I hate referees. I think they're the worst. And I definitely complain about them as much, if not more than Jim.
I would agree with all of those things. Tim.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. A lot of stuff going on personally, so I'm glad I'm able to kick it with you guys and get my mind off things. But everything's good. Don't worry. Don't need to worry. But I usually save this for the end of the podcast when nobody's here, but I'm going to do it in the beginning of the podcast. If you haven't told somebody you loved them recently, do it. Remind people how you feel. Reach out to your loved ones whenever you can, because you just don't know when your number's going to get called. So just be lucky, be fortunate you're on this side of the earth today. And we appreciate each of you guys coming and hanging out for an hour here on Facebook, just BSing the time away.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to put this out there because
I wanted to call and let you know that I love you.
I want to say, because I saw the number of live viewers as high as 7. If we can get that to 10, I'm going to go get the Wheel of Impressions.
Oh God.
So
Neighbors.
Share the video, call them the favors, get as many people in here. If I see that number get to 10, I'm going to get up
Wheel of Impressions.
Damn it. I was hoping maybe I had it under the table, but I do not. But intern Mark.
How you doing?
Well, it's kind of, there's some sad news with Tim's going through some things and passing of a former Tough Enough winner, and the Phillies are in the playoffs, so that's a bright spot if you like Philadelphia. But, and I'm here to brighten everybody's day. So I'm going to apologize, Jim, but I got something to say. It goes like this. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilis, my ex be on some hoe. Superman, I get them bands. Ain't going to buy you roses. Super duper, get them cougars. Took my wrist and froze it. Super duper hose? Y'all got Oompa Loompa hose. I ain't never knew you hose. Probably still ran through them though. Oh wait, Jim. Your hose? No. Are you talking about Tracy? You mean Tracy with the Honda?
Did he use this last week?
Thanks for having me.
Mark, we can't even hear you anymore. Did you break your headset again, Mark? Mark, we didn't mute you. You're just moving your lips at this point.
No, I think he's
What
talking.
the hell is even that?
Oh, he might be muted. What's going
Well,
on?
congratulations, guys. Welcome to Oops by Young Gravy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh God, no, he's
I'll
holding.
definitely hold it all episodes. That'll do good.
That'll be great.
You can hear me okay? Did you hear what I said?
I mean, it's a little quiet and a little muffled, Mark, but
I think we lost you after Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
don't make him repeat it, Ryan.
Yeah, right there. Right there's where we lost you.
Mark.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Mark, can you get a new headset, please? What's
Can you hear me
going
now?
on over there? All the money you spend on fares, you should be able to get a new headset.
How do you think Mark affords the fares?
Goodness sake.
So all of the ducats that he gets from being the Universal Skee Ball champion, you'd think that they'd
He's
have
never
like
won.
beats or something. Instead, he's out here with like Sam's Choice
They sell better. They sell better.
He's got
Earbuds
Dr.
that's
Thunder
at Five
headphones
Below.
on.
Like goodness sakes, Mark. Oh, we're at 7. We're at 7.
Share.
There.
Can you hear me now? These
Um,
are Beats. I won them at Hershey Park playing skee ball.
Are you freaking
And-
serious?
In what decade?
Did they give you tickets to take that?
No, I cashed them in. The
Now,
Mason
sir,
was
this one
there.
does have the water damage. That's fine.
That's true. Let's let me hit this real quick.
Did you hear everything okay, Jim? Did you hear about my hose?
Mark, we're moving on.
What'd you
We're
do?
Did you
looking.
hear about my Oompa Loompa hose?
Yeah, we heard that. October the 6th in pro wrestling history.
How are
Uh,
your hoes?
3 birthdays today. Bruno Sammartino was
You
born
probably don't even know my hose.
in 1935. Barry Darso was born today in 1959, and Afa Anawai Jr. was born today in 1984.
Hawaii. Jim, you missed the birthday already.
Whose birthday?
A Gypsy Mac friend of the show.
Gypsy Mac.
She had a birthday today. Or is still having a birthday today.
Well, yeah, it
It
would still be.
It's
it
still
would
going on out west. She's having a great
still
time.
be her birthday.
Happy birthday, Gypsy, wherever you are.
All right, we are looking. 1997, the Monday Night Wars
Gypsy!
continued with WCW Nitro getting a 3.9 victory over Monday Night Raw's 3.0. Nitro featured Cruiserweight champion Eddie Guerrero defeating Ultimo Dragon and U.S. champion Kurt Hennig defeating Chris Benoit. While Raw saw Hunter Hearst Helmsley defeat world champion Bret Hart via countout, and Intercontinental champion Owen Hart defeated Hawk. This Raw also featured Jim Cornette's shoot on WCW and Eric Bischoff in an interview, and also the interview Vince McMahon conducted with Melanie Pillman just one day after Brian Pillman's death.
Battle of Cock.
2006, Canadian star TJ Wilson reported to WWE Developmental Deep South Wrestling for a 1-week tryout. He was later signed and made it to the main roster, of course, as Tyson Kidd. 2011, Bruce Pritchard replaced Vince Russo as head creative force in TNA Wrestling. 2013, WWE presents their inaugural Battleground pay-per-view from the First Niagara Center in Buffalo, New York, in front of 11,700 fans with a buy rate of 114,000. The show featured 1 pre-show match, 8 main card matches, and in the main event, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton ended in a no contest. It was for the vacant WWE Championship. 2018, WWE presents their inaugural Super Showdown pay-per-view from the Melbourne Cricket Ground in Melbourne, Australia, in front of 70,309 fans. It had a pay-per-view buy rate of 65,000. The show featured 10 matches, and in the main event, Triple H with Shawn Michaels defeated The Undertaker with Kane in a no DQ match. Lastly, in 2019, WWE presents their 11th annual Hell in a Cell pay-per-view from the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California, in front of 10,000 fans. The show featured 1 pre-show match, 8 main card matches, and in the main event, Seth Rollins and The Fiend fought in a Hell in a Cell match for the Universal title. The match ended in a ref stoppage. And those were the events that occurred. October the 6th in pro wrestling history. Before we get to the wrestler of the week, earlier today, the WWE announced. What are you shaking your head at? Oh my God in heaven, Mark! What the?
Can you guys hear me better now?
Actually, yes.
You'd be surprised, but we can.
Tim, what are you eating over there? It smells good.
Nothing right now.
Earlier today, WWE announced the Raw,
I
SmackDown,
hope your nose gets an ear infection.
NXT, and Premium Live events will all have updated announce booths, starting with this week's season premieres. It was first reported by Variety. Friday Night SmackDown, the commentary table will be headed by Michael Cole with Wade Barrett doing color commentary. Samantha Irvin will be the ring announcer, and interviews will be conducted by Kayla Braxton and Megan Morant. I did see that. Oh, it does say at the bottom here, Pat McAfee will return to the announce booth following his commitments to ESPN's College Game Day. Monday Night Raw, Corey Graves will still be providing his colorful insights and will be joined by Kevin Patrick on play-by-play. Mike Rome will continue to announce from the ring. Byron Saxton will transition from the commentary booth to backstage interview. Also joining Saxton in the backstage interviews is none other than the returning Kathy Kelly.
Yay!
Respectful.
Hooray. Kelly.
Nope, Kathy Kelly. Mark, Kathy Kelly. Respect.
Kelly in WCW.
Yeah, she's in WCW. On NXT, Vic Joseph will be assisted by six-time world champion and WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Alicia Taylor will still provide her exceptional
Alicia
voice
Taylor.
for ring announcing, and Mackenzie Mitchell will once again be conducting interviews. On the premium live event side, Michael Cole and Corey Graves will come together again to announce from the booth. Thoughts on the redesign?
Oh,
The reshuffling of yes, right?
oh, just yelling like Jimmy Smith.
Oh,
Just
thank
yelling
you.
O's. That's all.
Big
is-
Jim or Gorilla
Well, see,
Monsoon.
we're making our big return to commentary on October the 15th. So I didn't want to be accused of gimmick infringement when I just owe my way through the commentary night. So I appreciate Jimmy Smith for all he did for Monday Night Raw, but he's giving me the gimmick back.
Oh, Jim, you failed to mention who's going to do commentary for Wrestling Challenge. Is that still Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan?
Mark,
I don't know if I don't think that airs in on this plane of existence. Maybe in heaven.
Yeah, I got some bad news there, Mark.
Yeah, they have died.
Luna Kitty joining us. Hi, Luna Kitty.
Luna Kitty.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Hello, Kitty.
I hope Luna Kitty's having a
I
perfect night.
I couldn't unhear the O's with Jimmy Smith, but I don't think he did a bad job.
I think Jimmy Smith was great for MMA. I mean, Jimmy Smith's
Yeah.
an MMA guy, and
He's an
I think
MMA
like
guy.
Morrow, anything can happen anytime, and the O's are a good response to somebody getting caught in MMA.
And that's one thing I'm really happy about is that we didn't bring Morrow back.
Okay, yeah.
You've never been a Morrow guy, have you?
I liked him until I stopped.
That's fair.
That adds up.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, this is really cool. Like, I really enjoyed Morrow. And then, like, and then I woke up and then Morrow was no longer into it for me. My big problem, and it's not even a big problem, but where's the representation?
Well, they moved him backstage to do interviews like the coach
I got
did.
a bunch of vanilla faces on TV.
Yeah. You're
Ain't
not
wrong.
wrong.
Like, we get rid of so Raw cuts guy and then trades the black delegation to NXT for a British guy.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. Like,
I don't know if Booker T, first of all, fits NXT at all.
None.
Yeah, I don't understand that. To me, I would rather have Saxton. If you're gonna move Saxton off of Raw, I would almost have Saxton on NXT and not doing backstage interviews on Raw. I don't get him doing backstage interviews.
I get why having Booker T at NXT makes sense. He's a
great coach.
He is a Hall of Famer. He is a 2-time Hall of Famer. I think. Right? Doesn't he have 2 rings?
I believe so, yeah.
That is correct.
2-time Hall of Famer.
2-time.
He gets to be there for developmental and watch these new talents grow. But I don't know if he is going to do a service to NXT in the form of commentary. I think he might have been better served as like a general manager.
Sound like Tim, like Nikita Lyons does her split pin.
There's
what
not
do you
enough.
think that sounds like? Not enough viewers.
I haven't seen a wheel spin.
We got to get it to 10 where it's 6.
So, but I'm sure it would be like Shucky Ducky Quack Quack.
You know what? You're falling short. It's not
oh
happening.
my goodness. Oh my Chet Lemon. But, and it's not to say I don't like these teams. I do. But you could do, like, how come we don't have anybody ready as a female to fill a role in commentary yet? Like, why don't we have
Renee? Right? Was the last one?
Renee,
the
and
only
Beth
one?
Beth
Well,
Phoenix
besides
was in-
Beth Phoenix for
Happy.
NXT.
Okay.
But Beth Phoenix just screamed at you.
She did.
That's all she did. Like Marvin Hollow, like Jimmy Smith. I think we may have the most polished commentary teams. I'm very happy to know that we are 2-man booths across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get to SmackDown, and then we get Pat McAfee back. But I don't even know if things shift around when McAfee comes back,
or SmackDown becomes a 3-man.
I don't know. I don't think SmackDown should become a 3-man. If I'm honest,
I don't think it should either. I'm not a fan of 3-man booths.
I think Booker is here while McAfee is out. And then when McAfee is back, Barrett goes back to NXT.
I'm fine with that.
And
I'd be fine with
Mr.
that.
For the Brand goes back home to SmackDown.
You think there's any chance he shows up and just wrestles for a bit and then settles back in?
I don't think so.
No
need to.
I think if he wrestles, he is a major show guy now.
Yeah,
that's
WrestleManias,
Royal Rumble,
SummerSlams, Rumble. He may come back at the Rumble.
I think he's gonna.
College football season's gonna be done.
Basically done. You'll get an episode of Game Day.
Did you just do done in your impression?
In January, but SmackDown will be, or wrestling will be wrestling. College football will be done by the time the Rumble is.
And so you can easily have McAfee return at the Rumble. He gets eliminated by his feud leading to Mania.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's fair.
And that's how you get there. And I don't know who it is. I don't know who'd partner him up with, or not even partner him up with, but put him against, because you can't do Corbin.
No,
or could you? Like,
you could, but I don't know why you'd quote unquote waste that again for Mania.
Why you would run that back at Mania?
Right, you don't need to run it back. It was perfect the way it was.
Right, and so, who knows?
I mean, it could be anybody eliminating him, and that sets up the Mania match, though.
Yeah,
and then just
right.
with
I mean,
his
it's
mouth,
WrestleMania. It's where dreams come true.
Could be the Gronk.
Cole and Barrett should be great. I'm very interested in the Raw booth.
I'm curious how much of a hurdle, and this isn't meant to be taken like in a negative sense, but Kevin Patrick has a very thick accent.
Yeah.
Very thick.
Have you heard Wade Barrett talk?
but his accent is different.
And Wade's also color, where Kevin is play-by-play.
Wade Barrett's British, and that's fine, okay? But Kevin Patrick...
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Kevin Patrick is, I think, Scottish.
Yeah, I believe.
So, and he's got the talking patterns of like Nicky Ash and Dewdrop, and it's much different than a British accent. And it wasn't necessarily that to me he is borderline distracting on the pre-shows. Okay. When they put him with Caleb Braxton. Hearing him on 3 hours of Raw programming, when Vic Joseph, the most underrated commentator in the history of commentators on WWE, is just dying a death on NXT. Like, You could have moved Vic up with Corey on Monday and have Patrick or Kevin cut his teeth, but then that would be the most comedically great
I was gonna say,
commentary team.
because
Kevin
then you're
Patrick
having
and
two
Booker
people cutting
T.
your teeth, kind of. Because
The Scottish accent. Let me take man, Kevin. Listen here, man. Like, it would have been great.
I don't think that works. And again, if Booker's a placeholder until McAfee's back, I think keeping the NXT table is important there. But I'm
Where's
curious.
Nigel McGuinness?
Well, that's true.
Aren't they launching NXT UK again, or NXT Europe?
Eventually-
that's
eventually
why
you're
they've
gonna
got
get NXT
Kevin.
Europe.
You are a smart man.
Kevin Patrick's going to be NXT Europe.
You put Kevin Patrick on the Raw desk to get his chops so that when NXT Europe happens, you ship him back.
But I'm happy to have Corey Graves and Byron Saxon away from each other on commentary.
No.
Like I'm tired of the back and forth bickering personally. Like, to me, like,
But yet Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon was the greatest commentary team of all time.
because it felt clever, and I was 7, Tim. At 40 years old, just two people screaming over Jimmy Smith screaming.
Look
See,
at
that's
you
the
rounding up
problem.
your age, you motherfucker.
Like
Jim, you're getting old.
like it just. I was done. I was done with it personally. I was done with it.
I love that Byron Saxon can fire back.
Yeah.
Before he was just taking all the shots that Corey Graves was throwing, and he couldn't say
was
anything back.
He was just
Then
taking
old
L's.
man Vince goes away, and Byron Saxon becomes like the fight guy. It's great.
Catching up on a few of the comments here.
Happy birthday,
Scotty
Big Mac.
Says Booker T on SmackDown is big thumbs down. I mean, we'll see. Again, could just be part-time there as well. He says Moro's pop culture references were meh and over the top. Yeah, it like
it was
again,
an alliteration for me. I
Yeah,
hated
it's
hearing.
mine was just every move was the end of the match.
Peter
For Morrow.
Piper's the personification of perfection and punctuation.
But for me, it was that look again in boxing, in UFC, every single hit could be the end. In wrestling, I get it. Let's play along. It could be, but it's not. So like,
Oh, kayfabe, Jim.
yeah. Look, I'm a heel, Ryan.
Jeez, Tom.
He says, Kathy Kelly working with her ex-boyfriend on Raw is interesting. I mean, not really. I mean, well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Who's her ex? I don't
doing
even know
what?
who her ex is, if we're being honest.
Kathy Kelly has 2 wrestling exes. One works for WWE, one doesn't.
Are you serious?
She is the one person that has turned Eskimo Brothers out of Velveteen Dream and Finn Balor.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. She was with the Balor Club before he got engaged with his now wife.
Oh, my God.
Balor Club's for everybody, man. God bless Kathy Kelly. And that shows the type of girl Kathy Kelly is. She had the Balor Club. And Balor Club is for everybody. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
If you don't know, I don't know how you don't know. You've never watched a Finn Balor match.
You've never watched a Finn Balor entrance.
Yeah, you've never have, not once.
Swing.
Are you serious?
They love that camera shot up too. They really do.
Well, God,
money shot. No, well, pun intended.
When he's got 10 pounds of figs in a 5-pound bag, that guy is just
It's big. It's enormous.
He is
That's
just
a good use of soundbite there.
He
Jim.
is.
It is.
That's a not so humble bundle right there.
Any other thoughts?
I think it's enormous.
Would you say that Jim Ross would be aroused by the Balor Club?
I didn't get that. It was been a long week, Tim. I got vaccinated.
I know you did.
Oh.
Not so humble bundle. I can't believe that's not a shirt.
Congratulations to the shakeups. It's around that time. It is
Season premieres.
the season premiere season of WWE, where there is no off season, but yet we have a season premiere. So,
all right, let's
congratulations.
Let's move on to this. Oop, gotta turn the volume down.
Way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. 3 Count Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
All right, week number 25.
We did it, folks.
We're almost to the halfway point.
Next
folks.
week's halfway.
Halfway.
I don't know why I
through.
said halfway.
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 You're
Halfway.
ready for Kevin Patrick on
Halfway.
Monday Night Raw.
Oh, it's halfway.
See, little kitty gets it.
Yeah, he does. Lex
Kitty
Luger
gets it.
eats your heart out.
That's right. All right, boys. Well, let's hit the people's champs. Our final.
Tim, you have your opportunity this Saturday to dethrone any of these two people's champs.
There's 2 of us right now.
And put any wrestler you want as the people's champ wrestler of the week.
Okay.
So yes, let's remind the listening audience, the viewing
You can
audience.
put any of your Japanese wrestlers that you love.
Nope, it has nothing to do with that.
Your independent wrestlers that you love.
Digital.prowrestlingscorecards.com. Create a faction. All right, we'll create your account first. Then you go to the factions. You can join ours at the invite code 67AB85 over.
Do you remember
at
an easy way to remember that?
No.
67AB85.
Yeah, I don't
Just
have
write, just write it down.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing right now.
literally. That's
What was that again?
67.
Mark that 67.
B.
And then BA.
Nope. AB
9479er.
85. Damn it, Ryan! Shut the fuck up.
Did I get a niner in there?
You got a
it was from
niner.
Walkie-talkie. But
Oh, look, somebody,
yeah.
one person did Bound for Glory and then actually didn't fill out the card.
And yeah, they just did that bad maybe. But yeah, for Extreme Rules this Saturday, whoever wins the scorecard for Extreme Rules will get to pick the wrestler or the people's champ from now until next week until I guess Full Gear in early November. Or we may get a double in early November because
another Doble.
Because I think the WWE Saudi show, right, is coming up here too.
Right.
We count Saudi shows?
Yes.
No.
Well, they're premium live events.
Hold on, scroll
Well,
up.
so
What's
was the
that other
NXT
one?
show.
It was it.
Yes.
But do those count? Those don't count, do they?
Tim, scroll up for me. What was the top one there? Victory Road.
Bound for Glory.
Oh, we
Bound
can
for
still
Glory.
put a Bound for Glory one, and I thought that happened already.
You can bet on the.
Okay, they're not the
10
same
pounds of
weekend. They're not the same weekend anyway. So Crown Jewel is November 5th, and Full Gear is on November the 19th.
And so here's how easy it is. When you go to digitalprowrestlingscorecards.com, if you have a Twitter account, you can literally create your account by logging into Twitter.
Oh, there you
And
go.
then all you have to do is click the Twitter icon whenever you go to the site. You obviously know your Twitter login. You can plug it in. Intern Mark is sitting here shaking his head when literally, Mark, if I click this, if I click the little Tweety bird, guess what? Booyakasha,
You
I'm
log
in.
Are you serious?
I'm in.
Why doesn't
and
it
I
work for me? You make it sound so easy.
It is that
How
easy,
about-
Mark.
You know what, Mark? How about this? How about now you send me a private message with your password to your Twitter, and I will sign you up right now on the air.
All right.
I won't share your password. You can give it to me, and I'll log you in.
It's just Hershey Park Happy, isn't it? With the
It's
H and
at the 3 count intern, 10 pounds of figs is my password. That's with a hashtag.
I will pull this off the screen so I can log in correctly.
But all right, well, no, let's keep moving here though, because we still have
Tim,
a
I don't
lot more
remember
to
my
cover and a
password.
little bit of show left.
Tim's handling this. I'll go
Why
with the
doesn't
rest
he
of the
know
day.
his
We're doing wrestler of
password?
the week. Oh, that's why he doesn't tweet.
I can't remember my password. I have to
Dear
reset
God,
it.
Mark. You know they have,
The old-
you know what? We
Unbelievable.
can't do this on there. We got to keep going. two people's champs. Me, I had one. I picked Lil Liv Morgan. She kicked the crap out of Ronda Rousey on SmackDown last week. I like the fierce side of Little Liv here.
Very fierce.
Heading into Extreme Rules. So yeah, I think Liv had a great week. Ryan, I know you're pals with the other guy, Rodney, who had the People's Champ. You want to tell us who he picked?
Angela Deeb.
Mark N.
Mark, you want to read that on the screen there for me, bud?
People's Champ selected by Rodney. Oh, that's the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
The best in
That's the one. That is the one. Oh man. Thank you, Mark. I didn't know you could read the screen. This one might take a while.
It wasn't easy.
This one. Look what's that. I think we're like a quarter of the way there. Don't worry, we'll get there. I probably shouldn't have picked this one. We don't have much time, and I picked the longest one. Devin, that's not even a real thing.
Does anyone have Mark's phone number?
I can send it to you, but I'll have to do it in between on commercial break.
Does any of the people here who are responsible adults who podcast on computers, do either of you have Mark's phone number?
Yeah.
Can you send it in the chat so I can send him a forgotten password link?
Yeah, let me.
If you're a good man.
Oh, that one was long. Jeez,
yeah, it was. We literally
super long. I clicked the wrong one. I meant to click.
It was like 10 pounds of figs.
I should have clicked the other one. But Ryan, you want to lead us off for with your wrestlers of the week? Well, I
do. Yeah, number 5, Wheeler Yuter. In a losing effort last night. I really enjoy watching him wrestle. I think he sells really good. He makes me really believe his performance. So Wheeler Yuter, number 5. Number 4, FTR. Didn't wrestle. They just came out and did something last night. But I'm pretty sure they had the loudest pop of the evening and make them wrestle a little bit more. Number 3, Acclaimed. We're going with the tag teams here a little bit. Boy, it was National Scissor Me Day or something like that. Mark, you would know that for sure.
That is correct.
Yeah, these Acclaim boys are over AF, as the children would say. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark are your new number 1 contenders over there in NXT. I don't know. I got that from Matt. I guess he watched the show. I don't freaking know. Number 1, War Daddy. Big retention of his TNT championship last night. Championship title match. I didn't watch that, but he's over too.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Tim.
What's that code I just sent you?
It flashed on the screen, but I didn't see what it was.
Just look.
Yeah,
I don't know if he can on the phone.
He can. Mark. It'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
right,
it's going to be totally fine. I promise.
Let me see if I can find it. Hello?
My God.
It'd been a text message.
Let's see. Matt.
That's about right.
Matt had Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark at 1, Bailey at 2, Freya the Slayer at 3, Joseline Navarro at 4, and Gypsy Back at 5. Tim, you want to go while Mark gets back on screen eventually?
He's still here. He's just...
I can't see me.
Sure can't, John Cena. You got a number for me yet?
I'm trying to read it.
Oh my God, I hate it so much.
Okay.
All right, I found it.
Okay.
I can read it to you on the air.
You can read it to
not on the air.
Yes, you can.
This is a private number, Mark.
Shut up, Brian.
Looks like 5. Then I is in Indiana.
I don't think that's
V
right.
is in Victor.
Yep.
Z is in Zebra.
Yep.
I is in Igloo.
Mm-hmm.
5. And the letter F is in Fun.
Are you sure those 5s weren't S's, Mark?
Holy crap, it worked.
It worked? That was actually it?
Unbelievable.
I can't believe that.
What did you think was going to happen?
Mark, that was your social security number, you dummy.
Yeah, way to go,
Are you
dumbass.
serious?
Well, it's okay. It's okay. Mark, just can you read your names on the screen, please?
Yes.
And the reason you put them up for me?
Big Jim, Ryan, Tim, Matt. Oh, the other ones.
Yeah, the other ones, Mark.
All right, so number 5. I got to say, I'm really, really enjoying the team of Pretty Deadly in NXT. I liked them before, but I'm enjoying them even more. I like them. I like them a lot, but just as a friend. Okay, nothing more there. Just friends. And at number 4, I've got the Acclimated. Is that because it was National Scissoring Day? Will you scissor me, Big Daddy? They came in at number 4, and then at 3, I got that her. We order Yuta. Her barbecue sauce. Her. We order Yuta. Down there, and he's a Sooner. He's from Oklahoma. Played college ball. The big cowboy. We wanted to recruit him.
Focus.
Her. Big cowboy. Bill Watts. Her. Just
Did
tell
he
me
really play
what time
football?
it is.
No.
Just tell me the time. Don't tell me I'll make the watch. Her. Then Solo Sika came at number 2. He's really having a renaissance in his career after retirement years ago. Solo Sika is back. And number 1, how can you not pick Nikita Lyons? She's like the main attraction. And Zoe Stark, not to be confused with Ricky Skaggs. Her.
Great.
Number 1.
Awesome. So Mark is now registered.
Are you serious, Tim?
For Pro Wrestling Scorecards. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to join the faction. So once you've registered, you go to factions. You enter join with code and you go 67AB85 and you click join. And I have successfully joined a faction. And you go here.
Unbelievable.
And you can look at the players. And by God, 3 count intern. Now, I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make him fill out a scorecard.
I'm going to
So
do
this
it.
is just step 1. So now, Mark, all you have to do is log into Twitter with the same password you told me.
Tim, do me a
Literally.
favor. Go back to that home screen. This is where it says home.
Yep.
Does it show on the previous cards or statistics? Where did you click on?
Statistics?
Yeah, that one. Who's the biggest? So Big Mac. Wow, 11 reigns, 14 wins for old Big Mac. Look at that, and big old Dick Devin thinks he's something special, but it's really Big Mac. Huh?
Big Mac on his birthday. Tim, can you
I'll
send
be
some mean
darned.
tweets out for me?
No. I have so many Twitter accounts that I don't tweet on. And you think I'm just going to add another one? You've lost your effing mind.
Are you serious?
I am
Tim,
serious.
over under 5
Picks
Twitter accounts.
for me?
Yeah.
T&M shows I don't tweet on enough. Not the Toolman I don't tweet on enough. The 3 count
What was that?
Twitter I don't tweet on at all. BC on North South is defunct. Helmet Podcast is defunct.
Helmet's not already?
There's my unknown burner account.
Yes, Helmets was this a 6-week.
Yeah, Helmets is a 6-week podcast. We're done.
Oh,
We've
man.
wrapped. There's the burner that nobody knows about that I don't tweet on.
I got to find it.
You'll never find it.
Is that your favorite burner, like on the stove, like the back right burner?
Front right burner is the best burner. Don't.
It is,
I
at,
like-
it is at front right. That's the
Nah,
front
you're
right
right.
there. At front right.
The
Back
biggest
left.
burner.
Back left tonight. I'm telling you, I like it. Touch it in the back. The guy said touch it in the back.
Touch it in the back.
Wow. Yep, that's
it. With that,
Touch it in
with
the
that
back.
face.
The guy said touch it in the back.
Mark, stop saying it.
I said don't touch it in the back, Smokey.
Why can't I?
Tim. Can you give your wrestlers of the week, please?
I would love to.
Thank
What
you.
time is it?
Too
So
fucking
for
late.
number 5, I'm very fond of Pretty Deadly.
Yes,
Nope.
me too, Tim.
Nope, that's
I know.
I couldn't.
All right.
Number 5, Andrade El Idolo, because he punched Sammy Guevara and lived to tell about it. Number 4, Jeep Wagoneer, because he's going to be in a ladder match. Number 3, War Dog Wardlow, because he did a thing. Number 2, Nikita Lyon and Zoe Starks, because they won stuff. And number 1, everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Yeah, Scotty, I
They're
did
over.
see the injury to Naheem Hines. Not good. Another concussion on a Thursday night.
Now, Tim, just to confirm, you would scissor like this, correct? I feel like Mark went like this to scissor.
I mean,
like
Vader would scissor like that.
Well,
Vader
yeah.
would scissor like that. You're
And
scissoring.
Spock would scissor like this.
You're scissoring normal scissor, right?
I'm normal scissors.
Mark's like crab clawing
I'm like
I
Dr.
can't
Spock
crab
scissors.
claw with my left hand. Well, actually, I can.
He's Mr. Spock. He's not a doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he failed
I'm
out of.
sorry,
He
Jeff.
failed out
That's
of.
the Spock thing?
Yeah, this is the.
He lives
I
long
didn't
and
know.
prospers.
What's in the middle then when you go up reverse?
This is almost West
What's this
Side.
Whoop.
And then, never mind.
Scissor. That's
Um,
the right way to scissor.
Be
isn't
one.
this? Will you
Devin,
just cut it out, Smokey?
Devin, you're not better. Devin, you win like twice a year at most. You're not like
Big Mac
won
is
3
statistically better, Devin. You
He is
can't
better.
argue that. It's there.
Devin's upset.
You may
Like,
have a
stop
bigger.
trying to lump yourself with Big Mac just because he's better than you. Like I'm
Here's
sorry,
the
buddy.
thing, Devin, and I'll say this now. I'll say what everybody's afraid to say. Okay?
You acknowledge Big Mac?
No, hell no. Well,
You're
I
gonna
do.
say
Big
that-
Mac's Big Mac's.
Acknowledge me.
Here's the thing. We tell you guys our picks before you have to make them. So literally, we're
that's
telling
not
you what
true.
we're picking, and you can change it up.
My
Oh, I
dumb ass
definitely-
forgets immediately
I
after
definitely
we podcast
changed
what I
mine.
said.
Right? Oh wait, no, I definitely tell you exactly what I'm going to pick on the scorecard.
So you can play against us.
We only
That's
pick wins
that's
and
the
losses,
point.
though. It's all the other bullshit that I always screw up. It's always fucking Jimmy Uso, not Jay Uso.
Wins
Yeah.
and
Pinning
losses
Angelo
You know the
Dawkins.
difference.
They
It's
play
all-
hard
I
in the
do-
paint.
Oh boy, one of them has shorter hair now.
Which one?
Solo
Jay.
Sika.
Jay has shorter hair because his name is shorter.
Jay has shorter hair because he's main event.
That's right.
He's also the one who's in the gym, and he's the one that wrestles without his shirt.
Okay.
And he's the one
all
that
right.
doesn't like Sami Zayn.
I had Solo Sikoa at my number 5. I had Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark at 4. Brian Myers at 3. Pretty Deadly is my number 2, and the Acclaimed at number 1. For the week, we have in 4th, we have a tie, Pretty Deadly and Solo Sikoa. Number 3, Wardlow. Number 2, the Acclaimed. And number 1, Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark. And for the year, Tim, was there any changes?
There is a change.
All right.
There is a big multi-car pileup at number 6. Zoe Stark has now slingshot herself into the top 10 in a 6-way tie with Ty Valkyrie, Erica Lee, Gunther, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, a.k.a. FTR Bald and FTR Hair. And Wardlow should not be on this list twice. There is another person who should be at 5th. I'm going to look that up for you right now because it is correct on the website itself, on the scorecard. But Wardlow has jumped up into 3rd place, tied with CM Punk, and currently at 5th. And I want to get this right before we go. 5th place is the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I'm very sorry, Chief. I did not mean to leave you off. Number 5 by himself, Roman Reigns.
Well, that's going to be a great segment into our next bit.
That is great.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Recount Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
All right. And this.
The 3 count question of the week.
All right. Tim, you kind of guided us here last week with a pretty bold claim. But for this week, the question of the week is for you currently, where does Roman Reigns rank all time in WWE history?
And for me, the answer is number 1.
Whoa.
Roman Reigns is currently the greatest WWE superstar of all time.
Are you serious?
Currently. I now open the floor to questions.
I mean,
because I have answers for all of your questions.
Like how?
Repeat your claim.
This also goes to the listeners of the podcast. Go ahead.
Repeat your claim.
Roman Reigns is the greatest WWE superstar of all time.
Who do you put him above as wrestler of all time?
No
Who is above him?
No one.
You specifically said WWE.
Well, I mean, we're talking in the world of WWE.
Correct, and I'm talking now outside of that. Who do you put atop of Roman Reigns? The Ric Flair?
Currently? Like forever? Maybe Ric Flair. And if you include his NWA WCW stuff.
You would put Roman Reigns as the number 2 professional wrestler of all time.
Yes.
Man, how?
Yes.
I'm trying to like how.
What do you mean how?
That's
like,
bold.
Like Ryan is perplexed.
He's upset.
I am not sure. Like maybe if we asked leading questions, aside from just like open-ended hows.
Okay, so for me, I think he's definitely number 1 in like this generation. I can see that.
But
so,
why not any generation?
So, okay, I'll start with why do you rank him above John Cena?
While there was a John Cena, at the same time you also had a Batista who is positioned at the exact same level as John Cena, and at times Batista skewed higher than Cena. While Cena had a bigger span of longevity at the top, Roman Reigns is encroaching on that time period. Roman Reigns has been around for a long time. And his time not at the top, but ever since he came into the WWE as a member of the Shield, he was always positioned as something big. And then when he broke away from the Shield, he's only been involved in main event in upper mid-card main event storylines. But the stuff he's doing right now as the tribal chief, I think, is greater than any time period of John Cena at height of powers. The entire WWE universe revolves around Roman Reigns right now. And John Cena never had that power. There was always a Randy Orton, there was always a Batista, there was always somebody else who was in that same hemisphere who was fighting John Cena and beating him for the title, and then John Cena would come back. He had CM Punk too. He had that. Roman Reigns right now is on an untouchable level.
Okay, all right.
So that takes care of the John Cena argument. Who's next?
Out of there, Scotty. The reason he is a heel, like, you know that, right? Like Scotty says, he's isn't winning many title matches on his own. It's becoming more and more annoying. Well, first, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of title matches because it's a featured attraction. And he's a heel, and you're gonna, when you're, if you're looking at the bloodline similar to like the mafia, any means necessary.
But also, too, Roman Reigns is into year 2 of this title reign. Okay? It makes sense that he is growing more tired as this reign goes along. So in order for it to stay with the bloodline, you might need, I won't say need assistance, but you would also, it doesn't, it makes sense in his character to have this, and it still makes him captivating.
Yeah,
Ryan,
nothing
you
about
have
the
this
bloodline
look.
got me.
I know where you're gonna go. I cannot wait till you say his name because I have the ammunition to shut that down.
Say his name, Smokey.
Good.
Say the name. Hulk Hogan.
That's not who he's thinking of.
What is he thinking? Dwayne?
No.
Ryan, we're already at 55 minutes. Could you say it?
I'm just stuck on such a bold claim without even questioning it.
I've questioned it.
I am choking on the audacity to make that claim right now. I can't even gather thoughts, Tim, to question such a statement.
Why does the greatest of all time in any conversation have to be somebody who has finished doing the thing?
Nobody's
in sports,
saying
we
that.
have this conversation all the time.
I mean,
We had the conversation: is LeBron James the greatest basketball player of all time, or is it Michael Jordan? In football, we have it all the time.
I'll say, well, I mean, Tom Brady's still playing.
But then there's still people who say it's Joe Montana.
When did the Shield? The Joe Montanas are wrong. When did the Shield debut?
Survivor Series 2012 or 13.
So we're talking 10-ish years ago, and I just the claim that Roman Reigns was like the top of the card and like the draw to me is
November
wildly
18th,
incorrect.
2012.
I didn't say he was the draw this entire
use
time.
the argument of like Randy Orton against John Cena. I feel like that argument could go directly against Roman Reigns. I feel like the Daniel Bryans can go directly against what Roman Reigns was doing at the time. Daniel Bryan was fighting the underdog story, and the entire WWE revolved around Daniel Bryan.
The time that the entire WWE revolved around Daniel Bryan was 3 months. Yeselmania was 3 months, and then he got hurt, and he was done for 4 years. Or 3 years, however long it was. So, like, or 2 years, because he came back and then he got hurt again at WrestleMania 31. The time period in which Daniel Bryan was the hottest thing in the world, and you can extend it out to SummerSlam when he beats John Cena and then gets cashed in by Roman Reigns. I'll even give you into SummerSlam. But even if you do that, it extends it out what? Another 4 months. So now you're talking about 7 months of being the hottest thing. But even then, was he the hottest thing? Because at the time, Randy Orton was the WWE champion.
I feel
there was the authority
like to be the hottest thing. I feel like you need to have a foil, and like his foil was the authority.
I mean, he basically has been
Roman
main eventing.
Reigns' foil here. Like, who is it? Is it Brock Lesnar?
The entire WWE. Everyone he has faced, he has smashed, he has stacked, he has pinned.
I was going to say
Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Roman Reigns won his first WWE championship in November of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been main event, and his first like main event spot, he won the Rumble in 15. So he's basically been at the very top of the card for 8 years.
That's impressive.
Almost 8 years.
And there was a point in time where he was gone for leukemia, and then he was gone for a little bit longer during the COVID era. But from the minute he returned,
and that's fine. Like, if you're a sucker for an underdog and comeback story, Tim, that's right there. It wrote itself. The guy beat leukemia. I get it. I just to say that's the reason. Then that's just
not the reason.
Wild to me, my guy.
Nah, it's beyond that.
It's beyond leukemia.
No, I don't think. I think Mark had a really good. Hulk Hogan came to my mind. Mark had said it. I don't know how you would. You can shit on Hulk Hogan all you want because he's a piece of shit human being.
I'm not even gonna go that route.
Gary's a piece of shit. Hogan was the biggest, arguably the biggest star in the company's history.
Correct. But the competition against Hulk Hogan in that era, if you compare what wrestling was in the 80s to what wrestling is now, the wrestlers now grew up wanting to be wrestlers. Everybody has watched and they have the playbook on how to be Hulk Hogan, how to be Roddy Piper, how to be Ric Flair, how to be all these people. They've studied the tapes. We have 25,000 Shawn Michaels in WWE. We've got all of these people going down the line. But Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. And he's always kind of been just Roman Reigns. He has broken the mold on himself. And he's doing it in a time period where more eyes are on him than ever before. He's
literally the Hulk Hogan.
He's not Hulk Hogan.
They do. Roman Reigns must pose. It's the same shit as Hulk Hogan, my guy. It's the same shit. SmackDown ends. Roman Reigns must pose. Bah. Goes off the air. No,
but they do that with every top star. Every top star must pose.
Oh.
Have you acknowledged Hulk Hogan, though?
Hulk Hogan also did in an era in which the amount of eyes on him was drastically, it was fewer it was big numbers, but also the only time that people across the world got to see Hulk Hogan was WrestleManias, SummerSlams, Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles, and Saturday Night's Main Event.
So you're telling me, so when was so? Let's say Hogan was 30 years ago. Height of power Hogan 30 years? 35 years?
I would say Hogan's height of powers is 84 to 88.
All right, so we'll say, I don't know, do the math, 35 years.
Almost 40 years. 35
Almost 40 years ago.
I feel like 40. I can go out to anywhere with a picture of Hulk Hogan. I could say, who is this? And almost everybody's going to say, that's Hulk Hogan. You think 35 years from now, we can walk out as old men and say, who is this? To anybody. And they're going to say, that's Roman Reigns.
Depends. Does Roman
Reigns
go in?
No.
Listen, no, because part of the reason why Hulk Hogan has such crossover appeal
Nobody's going to say Thunder Lips.
He did movies. He was on television outside of the WWE so much. You misunderestimate how many people recognize who Roman Reigns is right now. And if Roman Reigns goes on to have a career outside of wrestling, much like John Cena or Hulk Hogan or Roddy Piper or any wrestler turned actor, then yes, 35 years from now, people will say Hulk Hogan, yeah, he's the wrestler, but they also recognize him from other stuff. And then you also have to ask, who are you asking that question to? Are you asking right now people our age who Hulk Hogan is?
I am going to Roots Market with a picture of Hulk Hogan.
That skews very old.
Yeah, it's not fair, Ryan.
Well, the Amish love Hulk Hogan.
Let's go to the mall.
Go to Park City Mall and park up in front of
gay, straight, black, white, male, female. They all know who fucking Hulk Hogan is.
But I think more people would know who Roman Reigns is than you're letting on.
Right. I think that's where we're going to differ then.
Big Mac checked in.
More people
Happy
know
birthday,
who Umaga is than Roman Reigns. All right, that's a bullshit.
Birthday,
I didn't mean that.
Tim, what's your argument against Stone Cold at number one?
My problem with Stone Cold is that he was number one in the era in which the tides were the highest. And some people say that's what makes Stone Cold number one. But when you've got Hollywood Hogan, who is who is also on the pace of being the greatest of that era, and you have the NWO making wrestling, the NWO made wrestling hot, to which WWF had to answer and go, okay, well, we need to do something. So we're going to make Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we put him on top. Stone Cold happens to be the greatest in the era, but the reason why it's so great is because of all the surrounding pieces around him. without a Rock, without a Vince McMahon, without all of these people who you put at the, like, Austin has so many peers at his level in that era. And Roman Reigns is peerless.
Okay.
In this time period right now, as head of the table, the tribal chief, it is Roman Reigns. There is no equal. There is no one doing what he's doing on this level, and I don't think anyone will ever do it on this level again.
So who do you put that on then? Is that on the writers, or is that on Roman Reigns not making anybody? I mean, there was just, I mean, it worked perfectly. Stone Cold Vince McMahon, fucking peanut butter jelly. It was a great combination. DX,
but that's the thing too.
You can't discredit what they did. Like, I totally get the rising tide rose all ships for everybody, and it was the hottest of hot.
Right. Stone Cold and Vince McMahon was so hot because they had each other to raise each other up. But Roman Reigns is seemingly doing it regardless of who his foil is. Regardless of who you put him against, whether he's going against Brock Lesnar, whether he's going against Daniel Bryan, whether he's going against Edge, whether he's going against Jey Uso, whether he's going against Matt Riddle, whether he's going against Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt, it's Roman Reigns. And the story of being the head of the table, the tribal chief, like the god on a god level and seemingly untouchable. He hits on every cylinder. Yes, Devin, after 3 years of being on top, I hope to God WWE has found somebody to be an equal with Roman Reigns. And they've already started to put those pieces into place. Kevin Owens is getting there.
Yep. Sure.
Kevin Owens is poised to be the guy. We still don't have Cody Rhodes yet. Cody Rhodes ain't back. We don't know who the White Rabbit is, but if the White Rabbit is who we all think it is, that is an instant Roman threat because
Adam Rose.
Yes. Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns are like Peter Griffin and the chicken.
Yeah.
They can't coexist together. Whenever they fight, whenever they're together, it's on site. And remember, Roman Reigns, while he did beat Braun Strowman for the title, he cost Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. And there's also a Seth Rollins out there too.
And he is ascending.
Who's doing his best work in his career right now.
Correct. But even Seth Rollins has just recently said,
he acknowledged Roman Reigns.
He acknowledged that he is not on Roman Reigns' level. He is acknowledged
and I agree with
that Seth Rollins would be the greatest if Roman Reigns didn't exist.
Yeah.
And if Seth Rollins is your number one guy and Seth Rollins says that I'm not the number one guy, it's Roman Reigns, then that answers your question.
Mark, where do you rank Roman Reigns right now in WWE history?
Well, let me tell you something. Tim makes a really good argument.
Like, it's not like something like just like thought of like on the seat of my pants, and like I really thought about, like, I think about wrestling way too much, and I want to embrace Roman Reigns now. I don't like looking back and having to think, the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time can happen as it's happening.
Correct.
It can be here. You can appreciate the greatest of all time as they're doing it.
Yep. Absolutely.
You don't have to wait until their career is over and then go, God, dog, you know what? Roman Reigns really was really, really effing good. He might have the best run of all time. He might be this head of the table character might be the greatest WWE superstar of all time.
Yeah, you don't want to wait until they're retired.
Now wait a minute, Tim. What if you put the Undertaker in there? Where's he?
The Undertaker is the greatest character the WWE ever created. He is the greatest character.
That's fair.
Like he He will never be the greatest. He will never be the greatest WWE superstar of all time because he was never actually like positioned there. The time period in which he was positioned as the guy was literally in his like third decade of wrestling.
He never needed it anyway. Like he never needed to be there. To
He's,
be the
he
A1
always,
guy.
He always seemingly was the guy who was filled in when like, hey, we need somebody to run with the ball. When Taker got it at WrestleMania 13, that was when Brett and Austin and Sid were doing their thing and Taker got his little run. And then when Taker really blows up in the late 2000s and into the early 2010s, who's around him? Edge is there, but he's like, they're waffling on Edge. But Batista's there, but like Chris Jericho is finally breaking out and being a main event guy at that era. Like actually world title level guy.
Tim, I'm willing to concede to you that like right now Roman Reigns is absolutely the number one guy currently on the roster. There's no doubt about that. We may look back on this reign as one of the greatest reigns of all time, no pun intended.
Right.
It's not that long ago, though, that Roman Reigns was like cookie cutter babyface that had some go home heat because nobody liked what they were getting with that Roman Reigns character. Roman Reigns, I just can't separate the recency bias of how great the bloodline is, steeped in real, true bloodline. Like it's a perfect story. I can't separate like the recency bias of how great that story really is to like Roman Reigns right outside of the of beating the Undertaker and this is my yard now, and like that level of heat that he had as like babyface that just your girlfriend cheered for because he was cute.
Cena had two eras of that. Cena had the cookie cutter beginning era before he became the doctor at Thugonomics. And then after he lost his Thugonomics and he tried to, when he first was figuring out hustle, loyalty, and respect, that was a very cookie cutter.
But also does I mean, and this is just a general question, not even necessarily to Roman Reigns, because it can't apply to Cena in those eras. Like, does the crowd reaction change the quality of the work that he's doing?
No, because much like Cena and Roman are very equal in the fact that the reactions they get are not indicative of the work they're doing. Right. It was cool to boo Cena, and in turn, it was cool to boo Roman Reigns. And now,
as a face,
correct. And
Austin was being presented as a heel and was getting cheered. Should that be counted against him?
I'm not counting that. I'm not counting any.
This isn't even necessarily like.
Has it happened to the brother man? And again, I was much younger then, and I looked at pro wrestling very different in the 80s and 90s.
WCW. So in the end of WWF, the fans were starting to turn on Hulkamania.
Okay.
Like, you look back at that WrestleMania 9 thing, like, yes, the fans at Caesar's Palace popped, but like, if you actually watch the end of that match, Vince McMahon, commentator Vince McMahon, is getting in the ring and is celebrating with Hulk Hogan winning the WWF title after Yokozuna beats Bret Hart. And then Hogan loses it to Yoko at King of the Ring, and then he goes to WCW. And his run in WCW is from Bash at the Beach 94 until Bash at the Beach 96. And in between that time, he's Hulkamania Hulk Hogan, and then there's a period in like 95 where he taps into the dark side of Hulkamania, and he's wearing all black, and he's fighting the Dungeon of Doom. And the fans, by the time we get to like 95, 96, the training, the saying your prayers, you taking your vitamins, the believing in yourself, the demandments, nobody wants to hear about that. So the NWO comes in, and like September of 95, and starts like, or not September 95. Yeah. September
That's
95.
when, yeah, that's when Hall made an appearance.
But
And,
isn't that Paul Heyman and the Bloodline coming in and let's just pivot? The fans don't want this anymore. Let's just lean into what the fans want. It'll probably get a pop because the NWO wasn't a face faction, was it? They weren't.
Well, they were meant when the NWO first forms, they're positioned as these are WWF guys,
outsiders
coming to WCW. Right. And so much that they had to, on WCW television, say, I do not work for WWF. They had to verbalize it because it was so close to the real thing that they had to say it because they were being sued.
I just think storylines steeped in like truth just oftentimes work really well, and we're seeing that with the Bloodline and then the family dynamic of the Anoa'i lineage.
Right.
And like you said, the NWO having to come out and be like, look, we don't actually work for those guys, because it was true and because it felt really real. So I don't know. Tim, I'm not totally opposed. You sold me a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not 100% there, but you make really good damn arguments. I'll tell you that.
And that's the beauty of all of this too. And like, it's not the truth, it's my truth. And like, I would love to have everybody to see things the way that I see it. It would make for beautiful conversations. But what makes for even better conversations is when somebody has just a strong opinion and can combat you. And that's like, we talk like fast food and all that stuff here, but also every so often we get on a topic and we all have like a passionate like hook about something. And
I can't wait to fight you about fast food gimmicks next Tuesday.
I'm ready.
You think this got heated? Jesus.
So Ryan,
get ready.
Roman top 5 currently of all time?
Yeah, I can see that argument. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, I can
put him there. I can feel very good about that.
When I came into this, I was like, definitely top 10, probably like 5. 5, maybe 4, maybe cracks him out Rushmore. But like, he's definitely locked into top 5, I think. Tim, I think you hit a lot of great points. Absolutely hit a lot of great points.
You did.
Let's print out some pictures and hit them all this weekend.
What's that?
We'll go down to the FYE. We'll print out some pictures.
Perfect. I'm sure that won't be awkward at all. Two like 40-year-old guys like just walking up to people. You know who this is? All right, let's speaking of this weekend. Let's look this Saturday night at the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we still got this. The Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, PA. It is WWE Extreme Rules. You will notice the title of this show because apparently I'm incapable of typing the word rules. My phone just goes rolls because you're fat. Because when I asked Ryan the other day, I said, Ryan, do you want to come over and watch Extreme Rolls? I was like, well, there's our episode title. And then last night, when I'm typing out the show like advertisements for the day, I typed rolls twice there as well. So my fat ass thinks rolls, but it is Extreme Rules. This Saturday night.
Judy used to have some Extreme Rolls.
Oh man.
Did she ever? She had a whole bakery.
Oh man. But Mark, Tim, you guys are invited. I didn't talk to the boss, but
what's this?
You guys are certainly invited this Saturday to come to Casa de Big Jim.
Are you serious?
Watch the big show from the Philadelphias.
Where's the big show?
Oh shit, and he's in AEW. Never mind, I'm confused. But let's start. 6 matches on the card. We will start with the 6-man tag team good old-fashioned Donnybrook match between the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch, taking on Imperium Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. In turn, Mark, we'll start with you for this one. Do you have Imperium or do you have the Brawling Brutes?
Well, you know what? The Brawling Brutes have grown on me as well. But you got to go with Imperium. You got to. I just got to.
Especially if you're coming over to my house, you got to.
I want to be able to get past the front door. So I have to go with Imperium.
All right, Tim.
I'm going with them Brawling Brutes.
Huh.
I think we're getting closer to a time period in which Sheamus is going to knock off Gunther and become the Intercontinental Champion. And this is the start of it.
Ooh, okay. All right. Ryan, how about you?
I will be over at your casa for this event, and I know better than to pick against the Imperium, especially with your wife present.
Good. Yeah. She hit you last time.
If it's one thing your wife knows, though, it's about a good Donnybrook.
It is. It is.
Big fan of Donnie Brooks.
Myself and Matt did get his picks in. We both have Imperium as well. So Tim is the lone brawling brute in this one. Then we go. One thing I do like about this show, every match has a stipulation. If you're going to have extreme rules, give me every
Extreme
match
Rules.
have a stipulation on it. I almost said stimulation, but I'm still thinking about
You're thinking about Gunther.
Imperium.
You're thinking about Jim Ross.
An I Quit match. We got Edge taking on Finn Balor, of course. Along with Finn Balor comes the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley. Ryan.
Can you refresh my memory? Is an I Quit match a submissions match, or you can beat your opponent enough to say I quit?
All you have to do is they have to say I quit.
What's up with that lantern in the picture? I don't like that.
It's scary.
I don't know.
That lantern's going to bring fireflies. You better turn it off.
Ooh, fireflies. I like fireflies.
Etch. Actually, it looks. Are those sparks off the fire, or are they fireflies?
They might be fireflies. Actually, they might be fireflies. All right, Tim. Who do you got?
I got Etch.
All right, good old Etch.
This picture looks like Etch is sick with like AIDS.
Yeah,
look at those under eyes. That is not good. That does not look healthy. Etch
He's
needs
trying
some
out for the
sleep.
remake of Philadelphia.
He's an old man.
Unwell, but you went.
Mark, what did you say?
That I think he's trying out for that remake of that movie Philadelphia.
Oh my
No, Mark.
Mark,
It
who
is
do you
in
have?
Philadelphia.
Etch or Finn Balor?
Etch or 10 pounds of figs. I got to go with 10 pounds of e-figs.
Yeah, all right. Going with the Finn, huh? Yeah, Matt and I have Finn Balor picking up the win here. Devin, sorry, I missed. He had the Brawling Brutes in the first one. He has Etch in this one. Next, we will go to the strap match between Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross. Of course, Scarlett is with Karrion Kross. Mark, who do you got in this one?
Man, I'm gonna go with I had to go with Scarlett Johansson and what's his name, Killer Cross. I just got to.
You got to. All right, Tim.
You can't cut the legs out of Karrion Kross this early.
Nope. Ryan.
I agree. McIntyre can absolutely eat this L. Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I want the match I want Kross to lose is a hair match. So give me Karrion Kross.
You don't like the hair?
I can't get used to it. I really can't.
No, man, Karrion Kross
the hair.
I can't.
Karrion Kross is having a hair resurgence.
Oh.
Like let him live with this, man.
Cy Sperling would be jealous.
Maybe I'm jealous. Matt and I both have Karrion Kross as well. This one was pretty easy. Devin has Kross. All right, then we go to the fight pit match. Daniel Cormier will serve as the special guest referee for this one. Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins. Ryan.
I'd have to look back. I feel like Rollins probably has a small edge over Riddle in this back and forth.
Small edge.
A small
edge. You can ask Becky about
this
that.
This is going to be a real fun match, but I think this is Riddle's domain. Riddle's going to win.
All right, Tim.
The bro's got to win one. He is taking L after L after L. This is his opportunity. There's that word again, to get one over on Seth Rollins. With DC there calling it down the middle, Riddle wins.
Tim, has it really been that lopsided for Rollins?
Yes.
I don't watch a ton anymore. Obviously, it's pretty obvious if you listen to the show.
Rollins hurts Riddle going into into SummerSlam. The match gets called off. Then Riddle runs out on SummerSlam, and Rollins beats his ass again. They have the pay-per-view match in September, and after Riddle says the F-bomb on Raw, Rollins beats him again. It's like whenever it comes to blows where it matters, Rollins is up.
All right, that's fair. Intern
You know what? I
Mark.
changed my mind then. This is Rollins. If this is the big match, this is Rollins will win again.
Are you serious?
I officially changed my answer.
All right.
Devin, you can mark that down on your scorecard. Daniel Cormier is going to win.
Daniel Cormier. Now, I got to go with the Riddler on this one because I think he's got the etch in the match as well. So I'm going to go with the Riddler.
All right, Devin has the Riddler. Matt has the Riddler. I'm going Seth freaking Rollins. I think all signs got to point towards Rollins. I think we're looking at a Rollins U.S. title win on Monday. Personally, on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. So we got to keep it going. I think you're gonna start to see Rollins on the upswing wins wise, even though, like I said, he's doing the best work of his career. All right, let's move on here. We have the Raw Women's title match. It is a ladder match. I believe this is the first time that the Raw Women's title has been competed for in a ladder match. You have Bianca Belair. She will have Alexa Bliss and Asuka with her, taking on Bayley, of course, the Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Sky with her. Intern Mark. That actually was accidental, but it worked anyway. With
her.
But Mark, who do you got in this one?
Well, I'm going to go with Bayley. I think she's going to take the title in this ladder match. And I'm okay with that.
All right. Tim.
It's Bayley. She's here. Hot hand. Bianca's had a heck of a run on top. Over a year now, I think, as roughly champ. Well, no, because she lost it at SummerSlam, but like her year plus long reign at like a stranglehold in the top portion. I think now there's more money in the chase for Bianca to run through the Damage Control. And Bayley getting her spot on top. After all the goodwill she did during the pandemic era, it's Bayley.
All right. Ryan.
Yeah, I agree with Tim. I think to legitimize Damage Inc. What is Damage Control?
Damage Inc.
The Metallica album?
Yes. So good.
Yeah. Legitimizes
that was
the
Garage
Bayley.
Inc. Never mind.
That was Garage Inc. It legitimizes the faction with Bayley as champion, so I'll go Bayley here. Good match.
Matt
It could be fun.
Matt has Bayley. I have Bayley as well. I've already seen some people start to go like, what? And again, it could just be silly talk from wrestling fans. But they're like, Damage Control came in hot. The tag division's kind of crappy, but you have the tag titles. But like what's it really all for? I think it's all for Bayley sitting atop the Raw Women's division. Devin has Bianca Belair. Devin, I think, is the only detractor.
That's definitely Bayley.
And and then lastly, in this one, we have Liv Morgan, Lil Liv. Tim, you want to scroll there for us, Tim?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Lil Liv taking on Ronda Rousey. It's an Extreme Rules match for the WWE SmackDown Women's title. Ryan, we'll start with you on this one.
I hope they just beat each other real bad and there's no winner.
Okay.
The end.
That's mean.
The no decision.
You
can't have a no decision in an Extreme Rules match. We had one in a Hell in a Cell match.
I hope Austin Theory cashes in and beats one of the two ladies. We tried this the last pay-per-view and we dogged it real bad. I don't see what adding weapons is going to do. Oh, man.
I mean, it's got to make it.
This main event?
Does it?
I think the ladder match does.
I would say the ladder match.
Yeah.
You don't put
But
the
also-
Extreme Rules match on as the main event of Extreme Rules.
Ooh, that makes an excellent point.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, is
Well, the
right.
the main event is going to be a segment.
This ain't
Right, is
that's
the White
fair.
Rabbit really the main
If
event?
that's
Yes.
happening, then that's the main event. That's fair.
But how?
Or do
but-
you
okay.
start Extreme Rules with White Rabbit?
I think it depends who White Rabbit is.
I think that gets you tweeting
If
about
White
this.
Rabbit isn't who we think White Rabbit is, start off the show with it because you,
You know
can
what?
only
Here's the
get better
deal.
from
I
there.
had a great conversation with Charlie about this, listener of the show, Charlie.
Hey,
He
Charlie.
thinks we're never going to
Charlie.
see the White Rabbit because, much like Alice in Wonderland, you never catch the White Rabbit. It just takes you places. It takes you to what you need to get to.
Oh
So we're
shit!
never actually going to find who the White Rabbit is. The White Rabbit's just a vehicle to get us there. So, like, we're thinking somebody's going to come back maybe as a rabbit gimmick or some sort of.
See, I
That's
never
really not
thought it was a
part of it.
gimmick. I think that the rabbit is the tool that takes us to the Mad Hatter.
Okay. Okay.
Or-
All right. So that's kind of what Charlie was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking like there would be an unveiling of who this rabbit figure is, and it may not be somebody dressed up like a fucking Easter bunny. I'm not thinking like that, but
God,
Right.
the
We can hope.
gobbledygook
rabbit is-
part 2.
but
The rabbit is
the vehicle.
absolutely taking us on a journey.
Okay.
And that's what they've done. Like if you look at all of like the links give
Coordinates.
you locations or coordinates to somewhere else.
I think you
it's
start.
smart.
I think you start the pay-per-view with the White Rabbit promo that
Like-
reveals later in the night at a time or something like that. 10:58.
Or even what if you start and it's lights come on, you get the Then Now Together Forever. Opening pyro. Lights go out. They play the White Rabbit song. Red lights. Cut off. And then you go into your first match like it never happened.
I love it.
I'm fine.
And then of course, like, what the hell was that? Because it's
Look, everybody's
Graves,
fired up.
Graves and Cole on the call, right?
Like
Should be.
here's the deal. Like obviously over the course of the last few years, I've railed on AEW for like giving the sparklers exploding ring and some of these endings of pay-per-views that have kind of fallen flat. If your main event is the reveal or the end of the journey or whatever this White Rabbit, all these codes have been, and it's not who we think it is going to be, I think you have the potential of being like that big of a dud to end this show. I
Or-
really do.
Does the White Rabbit pop up again and take us to Brooklyn? The
For-
bloodline is promoted to be at Brooklyn. The bloodline is
Good.
not promoted
Which
to be
here's the
here in
thing,
Extreme
if-
Rules.
Brooklyn Raw. I don't think you shouldn't end the show with it then. Like it should
Right.
just be it should be during the show. If you're gonna do that, I'm fine with that.
You don't think it's a good way to end? All right, let's say the match.
No, I don't.
Happens. Chair shots, Extreme Rules. Liv celebrating, and you just hear a simple like, "Let me in." Cut the black. You have to fucking watch Raw then.
Okay. All right. Look, if they're gonna do that, then absolutely. Then I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But if they just do another QR code or something indescript, it shouldn't be the thing that ends
Okay.
the show.
So they can
That's
say
what I-
it's Bray without showing Bray, and you're fine
Right.
with that.
Right. If you know it's going to be Bray Wyatt.
And maybe it's not even a let me in character anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it should be the Fiend. But if you know that it's Wyndham 6 or Bray Wyatt or whatever, if it's a obvious tell that it's the return of Wyndham Rotunda to the WWE.
What if he comes
Then-
back as an IRS gimmick, like his dad?
I will laugh and die at the same fucking time, Ryan. But We didn't even predict the match, I don't think yet. But Devin says, because Devin's going to be there.
We
He's
predicted the
gonna-
match.
If it's not who he thinks it is, there's going to be a riot. And if Devin's swinging this thing around in a riot,
Somebody's gonna get hurt. They're gonna get hurt bad.
there's going to be problems in South Philly. But Mark, who do you have in this one, Lil Liv or Rhonda?
I think Little Liv's gonna squeeze another one out. She's gonna squeeze it out.
All right.
Squeeze.
Okay. Tim, who do you got in this one?
I got Ronnie.
Okay. New champ. Ryan, who do you got?
I'm sticking with Austin Theory.
That's right. Well, that's where we got derailed. Austin Theory. Matt and I have Liv Morgan in this one. I think Lil Liv's gonna retain. I don't know where that leaves Ronda Rousey, but I think Lil Liv's gonna retain for another month. But all right, let's close up the show. In the interest of time, we're not gonna run around. You guys know where to follow us and everything at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. 3CountThursday.com. Subscribe on all podcast platforms. Thank to everybody for playing along. Get the merchandise over at tpublic.com. We certainly do appreciate that as well. And look, today was a sad day for a lot of people in the wrestling world. I'm very glad that some people spent some time with us here on a Thursday night. Tell your people you love them. That life is way, way, way too short. So tell your people we love you. We thank you for your support as always. Subscribe to the show. Don't miss our Tuesday episode. And until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin.